Let's talk about JavaScript hoisting. What is JavaScript hoisting? Let's see the definition first. JavaScript hoisting is a behavior in JavaScript where variables and function declarations are moved to the top of their containing scope during the compilation phase before the code is executed. That means the variables and the function declarations are moved to the top. This is the behavior of JavaScript hoisting. I will explain you in detail, but it works differently for variables and function declarations. I told you variables and function declarations are hoisted in JavaScript. So there are two types of hoisting. One is variable hoisting, the other one is function declaration hoisting. But it works differently for both of them. Let's see. First one is variable hoisting. Variable hoisting works with variables which are declared using the var keyword. So this is an example. Let's see. The first line, console log of x. X is a variable which is declared in the second line using the var keyword, and it is assigned a value of 10. But the first line we are calling x, console log of x. So in that case, normally what would happen? It should throw an error, right? But due to JavaScript hoisting, this variable is moved to the top of the current scope. That's why when you're doing a console log, the x a default value is assigned to the x, that is undefined, and which is used here. So when you console log of x, the default value, that is undefined value, that will be printed out. After that, the second line, when the variable is initialized, the value is given to the variable, again we are console logging, then the value 10 is printed. You're getting my point, right? The variable, the x value, the value of x is not defined, but the variable is declared at somewhere, okay, somewhere in the code. But during the compilation phase, this x will be moved to the top, and that you can call in the first line itself, but value will not be assigned. This cannot be like when you are assigning the 10 value to the x, that will not be used in the first line, but a default undefined value will be assigned to the x value. So this is only declaration, not initialization or assignment. We cannot initialize or assign the value during hoisting. Okay, hoisting only declaration, variable and function declarations are moved to the top, nothing else. So we cannot assign the value, we can just move this variable to the top. So the first one was that variable, once it is value is assigned, or before the value is even assigned, the variable can be moved to the top, so we can use it below anywhere, even the first line also. Second one is function hoisting. Function hoisting also hoisted to the top of their containing scope, but there are some differences. During function hoisting, you can hoist the function, automatically the function hoisting will be happening. That means you can access the function before the code is being, like, before even the line of code comes. That means you can call the function before it appears in the code. I'll give you an example, you will understand with that. This is an example. Say hello. This is the function. So before the function definitions, the first line is say hello function. We are calling the say hello function, but that function is not defined on top. But due to hoisting, the declarations are moved to the top, so you can access the function directly. This is the first line. So first line, in the first line we will get the value hello, because this function is hoisted to the top, function declaration. So that function call will be happening from there. Due to hoisting, this function will be directly available. So the value inside the function, that is console logging the function, the hello word, this will be printed out when we are calling the function name. Directly when we are calling the function, due to hoisting, the function definitions will be used. So, but there is a difference in function hoisting. This is just like variable hoisting, right? Here variable hoisting, what is happening? Variable hoisting, the variable will be declared on the second line. Okay, var x is the variable declaration. So var x is declared. So this will be available in the first line also. Because of the hoisting, this will be moved to the top. The same thing is happening here also. Say hello function. This is the function, but the function say hello is declared at the top before even this. So the say, when we call the say hello function, this will be executed, and the difference is that the value will be given for the function. But there is another type of functions for which hoisting is not possible. I'll show you an example. Hoisting applies to only for declaration, as I told you before. In functions, hoisting is applied to declarations only, not for function expressions. What is a function expression? A function expression is something like when you are saying, when you are passing a function to another function as parameters or arguments. That is the first thing. This is a function expression. Or one more thing you can say, like assigning a function to a variable, like this. When you are assigning a function to a variable, or when you are passing a function as a parameter like this in this square bracket, in this curly brackets, when you are passing a function inside these curly brackets to a function, these two are the function expressions. Okay, so when you are giving a function expression, this feature will not work. JavaScript hoisting will not work when if it is a function expression. Only it will work if it is a function declaration. So the first case, this case it will work. This is a function declaration. So this will work. So when you call say hello, the hello will be console logged. But here, when you call this function say hello, an error will be thrown, because it will say this is not a function. It will consider it as a variable. So the function we are assigning to the variable, it is an expression. A function expression will not work with JavaScript hoisting. Getting my point, right? Two types of functions. One is normal function that is declared, that will be hoisted, but a function with an expression, that will not work. So basically saying hoisting works, but to avoid confusions, or if you have long 100 lines of code and you have declared something in between, some variables, some functions in between, and to reduce the confusions, everything, it is recommended to declare all the variables and functions at the top of their respective scopes. This will reduce the bugs, future bugs, like and ambiguity, everything. So it's better to declare variables and functions at the top of their containing scope. I hope you understood everything. Thank you so much.